had your 2 miscarriages after your 2 children that you have. How did you go, okay, I think I need to stop and this isn't going to happen for me again?
It was probably more of a gradual thing of just sort of slowly coming to the realisation that it wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. The very confusing and frustrating and really sad thing I found for me was that there was no answer. So I'd had every sort of test to check that everything was fine, as had Tim, and everything was absolutely fine. So I just kept getting the message, just go away and keep trying and it'll happen.
Right.
And I guess that we did get to a point where we could have perhaps considered IVF, and we both came to the conclusion that we didn't want to go down that path.
Right.
Because number one, there's no guarantee. Mm-hmm. After all, IVF is still dependent on a viable egg, mm-hmm. and by this stage I was probably 40, right. 41, and I knew that having, heard other friends' accounts, it's a very grueling thing to go through.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also considered the fact that when you are undergoing that, it is so grueling, but also just so, I get the impression that you are just so incredibly focused on it, that it's very hard to remember that you've got these 2 little beings in your life who need you.
Yeah, right.
And I thought to myself, I don't think it's fair to put them through it.
Right.
They don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And I figured that if I was focused on trying to have that baby through IVF and neglecting what I already had, it was really unfair on them.
Yeah, right.
And I also figured that, I'm really surprised by my tears, but it's still a bit raw, I think.
Of course, yeah.
I think also I had a job to maintain, with the Today Show. I did actually go through a period where I thought, well, I might have to give that up and focus on trying to have this baby.
Yeah,
and then I thought, well, what if I don't have the baby? What if the baby doesn't happen?
Yeah.
So I do think sometimes you have to go, well, this is my path. I'm doing all that I can, short of going down the IVF track, which of course, again, was no guarantee anyway. But I just kept looking at these little 2 children and I thought, well, I can't, it's not fair to them.
Yeah, right.
And I don't want to miss out on any, joy and love and relationship that I have with them.
Yeah, right.
By shifting the focus solely on trying to get what could be unattainable, and of course it was. But, that was my decision, and I had other people suggesting that I might regret that decision. And I'd be lying if I didn't say there have been the odd times where I thought maybe I should have pursued that. But that's the decision I made. And then I think what happened is I probably got to about, I'm now 43. I think probably, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I sort of said to Tim, I think we have to close that door now.
Yeah, right. Was that hard when you had that discussion?
Yeah, I still feel sad about it.
Yeah, right.
Still feel sad about it.
Of course.